You are now tuned in to Decadent Conversations. I am your host, Shay Butter.
And I'm Brown Sugar. Welcome back, everyone.
Hey.
All right,
All right,
so
so we're going to jump right into this thing.
yeah.
I got to beat you to the punch because you'll be trying to beat me to
Okay,
the punch. So
okay,
I
go
got to beat
okay,
you
go
to the
ahead.
punch. I'm going to ask you how your weekend was.
Okay. Okay, well, all right. I had an interesting weekend. Okay, so a friend of mine, those people that just kind of linger in the background type of person, but you guys never had a relationship or anything, but they just are kind of around. You might
Hmm.
flirt a little or whatever. Out of the blue, hadn't talked to this guy in, I don't know, maybe 2 years since before, sometime before the pandemic. But out of the blue, he calls and is like, "Hey, my dad is sick. I'm in the neighborhood because he lives kind of far. Do you want to go out?" And I was like, "All right, cool." So I meet up with him. We have drinks and eat and talk, and he looks so different. He looked different. He carried himself different because I had a nickname for him. Okay,
What was the
I always
nickname?
have nicknames, so I call him Water Tank. I have to explain that later, but anyway, I call him
No,
Water Tank.
explain that now. You can. What does water tank mean?
I save people in my phone under crazy stuff. Oh, I got Water Tank, Shorty. I got one named HMO, one named C-Rag. What else? Yeah, HMO, C-Rag, Water Tank, Shorty. All kind of stuff. Sometimes you save people under
Prince.
like, yeah, Miami. Oh yeah, you save people under anything, under different things. So we go out and I was like, you're different. You've changed a lot from when we were hanging out before. And he's like, what's so different? And I said, you've evolved. And he was like, what does that mean? I was like, your hair evolved. And he was like, what do you mean my hair evolved? And I said, well, before, he was like, I was growing it out. That's why. I said, you still growing it out, but it looked like you've been to a barber. Whereas before it looked like I know mad. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, you were giving me good times with the hair. And then he was like, and what else? And I was like, your outfit. He was like, I'm always fitted. I said, I'm not clowning. I'm just saying you a little bit more polished and together than what you were before. You more calm. I said you had this little crazy streak to you before. Okay, so the reason why he's called Water Tank is because years ago, I've been knowing this guy like 7 years. Years ago, we were on the phone, and I don't know if you remember the show How to Get Away with Murder,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, so there was a scene in one of the movies where the girl was kind of like playing the dude, right? So the girl in he found out she was playing him, and she ended up in this water tank dead, right? And so his friends, the other people, the other lawyers said it's all good and fine until you end up in a water tank like that. And so the guy was acting crazy, and I was like, I wasn't trying to play him or nothing, but I just was playing him to the left, basically. So my friend was like, yeah, it's all good and fine till you end up in a water tank. He crazy. Like, you shouldn't even be, cool with him like that because he just doesn't seem like that, like stable like that. Not like
Hmm.
mental health crazy, but he just didn't seem like balanced, But it's
Wait,
okay
did
because
you
I
tell
wasn't
this
really
man?
hanging with him. Huh?
Did you tell this man you named him Water Tank?
No, he don't know he's water tank.
Okay, because you okay, I was about to say because your ass really would have ended up in a water tank. Because you can't tell nobody you named them nothing like that.
Yeah. So I mean, and like they all, and then it was like, yeah. So we just had a good time. So then after that, he was trying to kick it, you know, go to Malibu and all this other kind of stuff. But I don't. Even though I believe in redemption and people could change over time, and all that stuff, I'm just not. I don't trust it. So I will leave it how it is. But I had a really good time, and he's cool people and all of that stuff. But I had, fun in that situation, and I might go out for drinks or something again, but that's the extent of it. Nothing more or nothing serious because yeah, I don't know. He's still water tanking my phone. You get me? So my question for you, I told you some of the crazy names I got in my phone. Water tank, HMO, C-Rag, Shorty, it's some crazy names. I mean, those are the ones I could think of, off the top of my head. But what are some of the craziest names you have in your phone?
I don't think I have any crazy names. I'm kind of like a real direct person. And sometimes I don't like when you be putting me on a spot, even though technically you didn't really put me on a spot, but you kind of put me on the spot. Folks who listen to this don't really know that I'm crazy like that or like that I'm that mean, but people will be stored in under my phone like bitch ass nigga. It'll be a whole bunch of clown emojis. I got goofy ass nigga, do not answer. I
Oh,
got
I have do not answer.
steakhouse because a nigga
Oh,
always taking me to a steakhouse.
okay,
I got
yeah.
good time. Um, so it's
Is he a good
just
time?
but I guess you could say this is crazy. My mom, she is never really late. She likes to wait to the last minute to let me
Mhm.
know about things. So in
Mhm.
my phone, she stored as last minute mom. She hates when I answer the phone, be like, "Hey, last minute mom." She was like, "Change my name." No, you last minute mom because you wait to the last minute.
So that's about it.
And then HMO is after like the health care plan. You got PPO, HMO.
Yeah, he
You
got to
know,
hook up an insurance.
no, he got a bunch of health problems.
Oh shit. Well, you.
He got a he got a bunch of health problems. And I remember, like, actually, you met HMO. You met HMO. But anyway,
You
let me
have to tell
just
me
tell
to
you.
show who he is. He is
Yeah,
for
no, no,
real.
you didn't meet him like that, but you saw him before. But yeah, every time I would talk to him, he's like, "Yeah, I had this happen and this happened, medical problem." And I normally don't be, feeling no. I don't, I'm a compassionate person, right? But then I was thinking, like, do I want to get involved with, somebody who already has health problems? It's different if I met him before. So I was like kind of pondering it, but I was like, if he cool, I can see past that depending on what level of degree of involvement. Let me just give it a try, right? And so I was open, and then you and I went out. You probably remember this part. You and I went out, and when we went out, we went to the bar, and he's sitting there with someone else I know and his wife. I'm like, you got all these health problems, and you had the audacity
To be
to be
cheating.
out here trying to be a hoe.
Oh,
No wonder
hell no.
everything hurt on you. Like, like I'm like, I'm like HMO, he out of here. So yeah,
So
so that go
you
ahead.
know the saying, if you knew better, you do better.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel now when it comes to what I'm looking for when I'm dating somebody. And I'm saying
Mhm.
this because you said about the whole health problems. Like honestly, like in my 20s, that wasn't something that I was worried about. Like I
Mhm.
really wasn't asking men their medical history. Like I guess I don't want to say I was just trying to have a good time, but I just assumed everybody was healthy. But you don't really start, I guess. Well, for me, I didn't really start paying attention to that shit until I got older, and so now
Yeah.
my list look a little different because all the blood needs to rush to your dick without any issues. That's first and
Yeah, that's
foremost.
a problem. I
You
mean, that would
you
definitely be something to be considered.
you don't like us having like the high blood pressure and the high cholesterol and all that. Like, no, I need somebody that's gonna be around. That's just what
Right.
it is. I don't want
I
to
mean,
fall in love with somebody and then you end up. I mean, you could nothing in life is promised. You can go at any
right,
time, but I'm saying is
right.
for like for somebody like in their 40s to go because they had a heart attack or
Yeah.
because something like that, like something that could have been prevented.
Right.
So I just move a little differently now when it comes to
Yeah, I
dating
mean, I
men, or, you know.
yeah, I know that, none of us know like what could happen medically, and we have surprises and stuff like that. But like going into it, knowing you got a long list of stuff, like that's kind of like, I don't know. So I kind of second guessed myself on it. But when I saw that, it made me wonder, shoot, are some of your problems, due to the stress you put on yourself, self-inflicted wounds, because you trying to live a player life, and you know what I'm saying, you just had surgery, a year ago, major surgery. You got a woman that holding you down, and you trying to holler at somebody else. You're not even about to be able to keep up with me.
Stress can
But yeah,
impact
that was HMO.
everything.
Hmm.
Well, you should have just called him HO because you sound like a
Yeah, he
hoe
HO,
and leave that hoe
HMO,
alone.
and HO. He all the H's.
He was an HMO hoe. That's what he
He was
was.
an HMO hoe. I'm gonna change his name. Shoot. All right. Well, okay. So I've been following the Johnny Depp, whatever that other crazy Amber Heard trial. I'm glad he won, but I'm not even really focused on the trial itself. You know, I was thinking about the situation, and when you a little bit, if you're really good looking, or you're rich, or you have like different things like that going for yourself, you can get, especially a woman can get away with, I want to say murder, because I feel like she would have probably tried to kill him if she had the opportunity. But he left his wife he was with for, I don't know, 15, 20 years. They had children together. Even by his own admission, there was nothing that she did that would warrant what happened. And then he left her to I'm sorry, he left her to be dealing with this other lady that's crazy, that cut off part of his finger, that was calling the police, that was abusive to him, emotionally abusive, toxic, causing him to lose money and jobs. In a way, like sometimes when stuff like that happens to guys, I'm not gonna say I'm glad it happened, but it's like an eye opener, because it's like you left somebody who was cool for that, and then that's the result. And I see that happen a lot, where guys will bypass like either the woman is holding them down, or like a good woman, and then go for the crazy. And I just don't get, like, I don't get
It's
it.
the
Well, okay, I
it's the
kind of
eighty
get it,
twenty
because
rule.
okay, yeah, right, right. I kind of get it, because I'm pretty, in fact, I know I've done it before. I know that I have stopped talking to somebody that was a good guy and solid and cool, for somebody who was just charismatic and more fun and good at other things. Oh, and of course, in retrospect, it's like you was tripping. But in that moment, that excitement, that, like, the looks, the all the sparks, the that stuff took precedence over it. I think in my maturity, I was younger then too, but in my maturity, that stuff don't excite me, because I see right past that to the core. You know what I mean? But at the time,
Yeah.
I know I've done that, but he's old already. So why are you still doing stuff like that?
Some
So
people
I don't
never
100%
change.
feel bad for him.
Some people never change. Some people keep making the same mistakes. They say that um in everything there's a lesson, and either they have not figured out the lesson, or they like to keep touching that stove even though the fire is hot. So he could
Yeah,
be
they like that hot
very
fire.
so, much aware of it. Sometimes we end up repeating the same cycle until we get it. But
Right.
I am happy that they ruled in favor of him. I read something on Facebook. I think I got to take another break because Facebook really be pissing me off. I'm gonna have to take a social media break. Somebody had wrote a post and was like, "Now I'm looking for all the Johnny Depp memes from all you bitter ass women that are gonna be rooting for Amber or whatever."
her name is. I don't know the half her name.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
and
was
I'm just like, are
Amber
you
Heard.
serious? Like, wrong is wrong
Hmm.
and right is right. And
Yeah.
clearly, that was a situation where she was wrong, even though they were both toxic. She was wrong.
Yeah. Hmm.
So why would I be rooting in favor of her?
Yeah. Yeah. She was dangerous. So, and you're right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, those that's a type of guy that writes stuff like that. And a lot of times people like that, they project their own descriptors. So when he's saying bitter, he's really the one that's bitter, because why do you see, of all the things to highlight, why you highlighting that with
Hmm.
based on nothing?
Uh,
So I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
I think that's a particular type of guy that looks for that and is just bitter, and they can't be happy, because if you happy in your life, how are you looking for a bunch of negative stuff? Like, my focus don't be on stuff like to look for the worst or the negative, especially in the opposite sex all the time. Now, if something naturally just happens in front of you that involves you, that's cool. But like them type of dudes, yeah, they just miserable.
Girl, he has so much to say about women and how we do this and how we do that and why we do this, et cetera, et cetera. And he's in a relationship claiming that he's just the happiest. Nigga, do you know
Mm,
that when I get in a relationship, y'all probably will not even see or hear from me that much? You better
nope.
hope that I show up to film this shit.
Because I'm gonna be so far gone in what I got going on. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not.
yeah.
I don't have no time to do that men versus women shit. Men do it like focus. You should be focusing on where your happiness is at. And so that lets me know that he's not really that happy.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. I got a homegirl that she was on that level where she was like, F all these dudes, and she was just like bashing constantly. Long story short, she fell in love. You think she's talking that now? Nothing. She all peace and
Bitch is
harmony and
getting dick
meditation.
down. She is not worried about that shit.
Right.
She's
She
getting
ain't
dick the
right.
fuck down.
She ain't said a negative word since the day she got with him. Nothing. I mean,
So
she just be happy. Come on, girl, I'm gonna cook. Oh, what else? Oh, no problem. Hey, come hiking with me. I mean, just fit and happy. You know, she went from that. She was so bad. She even had a purse that said F love. So that's how you know when somebody happy, they don't have time to be sitting there
Yeah.
looking, focusing on negative. If you are with somebody and that's what they bring out, you need to put them back and try again.
And I want to apologize to y'all because I noticed that my mouth is a little looser than it usually is.
I mean, I know I'm graphic, but it seemed like I'm getting a little too graphic today. But
Anyway, since we love talking about dating, because that's just the season
Where we
that we're
at with
both
it?
in right now,
Hmm.
I wanted to share something that I found online. I told you Facebook be sending me down the daggone rabbit hole sometimes. So I'm reading a text message. I'm gonna read a text message that somebody shared, and first is the woman's response, and then it's the man's response. So she says, "Hi, I hope you had a good day at school today. It was a busy day at work for me. Thank you again for asking me out and taking me to dinner last night. I enjoy how upfront you are, but I want to let you know I'm not interested in pursuing a relationship. I wish you the best of luck and hope you find someone amazing." His response is, "Hey, so respect your message. I'm gonna read it just like how he he's writing. He says, "I need to see you, or you send me your Cash App or Zelle for the money I spent on you yesterday evening. I so not have money to spend on someone with a relationship that's not going anywhere. I'll send you your bill. However, I'll pay for the cheesecake. I worked too hard to receive your disrespect. I do respect you. I'll call you to receive my compensation. I think that's respectful before things get out of hand." Girl, what the
Whoa.
fuck is
Oh,
that?
hell no.
First of all, red flag number one, he's crazy. And this is why you don't let people know where you live when you first start dating them. Because if he doesn't know where she is, she could just block him and that can be the end of it. But if he knows where she lives, where she works, and he's saying so it doesn't get out of hand, that's a threat. That's the first thing. The second thing regarding that situation, okay. Now, if it's been multiple, like a lot of dates, like I went out on a date with a guy one, two, three times. The third time, I said, you know what? I know this ain't no love connection, but you cool, so we could be friends. I got this one. But I was not about to get no refund for date one and two. But I got three because I know I don't want you at this point. So it's like I was sitting there like, why am I? I'm not gonna waste my time or his. I already know from these first dates that it's not going nowhere. So I mean, it's a limit to it. It is a limit to it. Like, but at the same time, one date and you like, give me back my money. But guys, some guys really feel entitled when you spend money on them. I went to a Spanish club with my homegirl. We go and this cool little Puerto Rican dude, he like, I think you're beautiful, blah blah blah. Do you want anything? I say, yeah, I want some wings and whatever drink. Actually, I wasn't drinking at that time. So I said, just give me some wings. Right. So he got like whatever piece wings. I'm eating the wings, my homegirl eating the wings. He's eating the wings too. I eat like maybe two wings and we're talking or whatever and he's being real fluffy. Then he said, well, I bought you something to eat. What you gonna do for me? I was like, how much were these wings? And I divided uh what they were per wing and threw $1 on the table and walked on about my business. But some guys are just like that when it comes to like money. But he clearly was crazy and she dodged the bullet and she was right in her thinking of not dealing with him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's crazy.
I don't like to put a price on pussy, but if we gonna put a price on pussy, bitch is worth more than two chicken wings. I'm sorry, it's worth more. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
let's just
Absolutely.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just because you took me out to dinner, that does not mean I'm required to fuck you. So
Yeah.
let's stop that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with people meeting each other for the first time and having sex. I'm not against have a problem with, if you meet somebody and y'all decide to have sex, that's the type of time y'all on, that's cool. But you need to read the room. And I think I said that before. If you take somebody out on a date and sex is not on the table, don't be tripping. If
Yeah.
sex is that important to you and that's the reason why you're taking someone on a date, nigga, go get a prostitute.
Yeah. I've said that
That's just how
before
I really
to a
feel. That's
guy.
guaranteed pussy. It cuts out the middleman. You don't have to hear nobody's mouth. You know what I'm saying? She could put her clothes on and leave when it's done. There's no issues.
Yeah. Right. But they
So,
get offended
but
if you say that.
Girl, and this is the season where I don't give a fuck who I offend.
especially not today. I told you it's been one of them days, so that mouth is a little loose. I got a story though. So a few years
Mhm.
back, I went on a date with an African guy.
Mhm.
My In my experience, African guys tend to be a little aggressive with me. Nothing's wrong with being aggressive. Sometimes I can be a little aggressive. But we went on a date. It was the first date. He suggested that we go to the movies. I don't typically like to do the movies for a first date because a first date, I'm interested in like trying to build more of a connection with you, trying to pick your brain, you could pick mine, and we can't really have a conversation in the movie theater. You're gonna be trying to ask me shit, and I'm gonna get upset because I'm trying to watch the movie. Then we
Mhm.
probably gonna get into it because I'm gonna tell you to shut the fuck up because I'm trying to watch the movie. So
Mhm.
he
Keep
wanted to
talking.
have
I'm
this
just
movie
gonna
date.
reach down and get my drink.
he
Go ahead.
we're having this movie date. Of course he's like, get whatever you want. I was gonna do that anyway. The movies is expensive.
Mhm.
They've gone up. Everything has gone up since 10 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever. So tickets
Right.
cost a little bit more. That popcorn and them drinks cost a little bit more. You can have a movie that end up being $200. That's just what it
Right.
is. They got drinks there now, food there, all types of shit. So the movie was cool. I drove myself. He drove himself. At the end of the day, he's like, "You don't want me to follow you back home?" I'm like, "No. For what? I just want to make sure you make it home safely." "Nah, I'm good." But you just like text me and ask me, did I make it home safely? Or I could text you and tell you that I made it home safely. But there's no need for us to follow each other back. And that just didn't sit right with me.
Mhm.
Um, Plus the fact that he was trying to get touchy feely in the movie theater too. And that wasn't the type of
Mhm.
time that I was on. This is our first date. We've never talked about sex, anything. So cut that touchy feely shit out. So I sent him a text message similar to what she did and was pretty much like, thank you for the movie date. Think that we should pump the brakes right here and not try to pursue anything on a romantic level. If I see you out in public, it's all love. And that's just what it is. I just don't think we're compatible. So he sends a message back and he's like, "Well, bitch, you need to give me my motherfucking money back for this date."
Oh,
So I've
Oh
had a
hell
no.
situation
no.
like how she had. Yeah. And so
Oh
at
my
that point,
goodness.
I blocked them. And then I get a text or a call. I don't remember if it was a text or a call, or if it was both, a few days later from a number that I'm not familiar with. The number's just like, "So just a black bitch that like use niggas for dates, huh? You just like going out on dates, and having niggas spend money on you, and you ain't giving them no pussy, none of that. And what's wrong with you? You better be happy somebody even want to date your fat ass." Woo, 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 woo. And he's like, "And don't try to figure out who this is, but just know that I got your license plate, ho, and I can figure out where you live at, and I'm coming to get my money."
Oh wow.
This, so this is the type of shit where it's like dating gets scary. These are the situations where even when we don't want to give a man our number when he approaches us on the street, we kind of give it to him anyway out of pity because we don't want him pulling out a gun or doing anything extreme because some people can't handle rejection. So I feel for the young lady who shared that text message because it's just sad that you can't tell somebody that you're not compatible with them without compatible. Yeah, you're not compatible with them without them getting in their feelings and saying, "Give me my money back," and doing all of this stuff. So where do we lose sight of how we carry ourselves as
Yeah.
men and women? Because
I
just
mean, I
because you
think
take someone on a
mhm.
date, that doesn't mean that, oh, we're about to get married, about to get in a relationship. You're the last person I'm going to be with. That's the whole purpose of this date and dating, to see if we're compatible, how we get along, because you could spend so much time on the phone and all this shit is cool on the phone and on FaceTime, but how do you act in person? Do you
Right.
change up? How do I know that
Right.
until we meet in person and do whatever it is that we're going to do?
Right. And then how do you act when you don't get what you want? Are you gonna blow up and act a fool and be threatening and all that stuff? It's a lot out here. And I mean, I think that goes back to that mental health conversation too, because it's a lot of mentally unhealthy men and women. But the difference to me for a lot of women is we're more vocal about our issues. We will tell you, well, I'm this, I'm that, versus guys will be like, I'm fine, I'm fine. They'll just say they're fine. They won't express, you know, really what's going on with them, and then they spaz out, and you're like, where did that come from? I think that is a conversation of that's some type of mental issue because you have to be mental to think that because you bought me chicken wings or because you took me out to dinner and we ate a piece of chicken that I'm obligated. You're obligated to my body, what creates life. Like you're obligated to my body because of some food. Like you sound stupid. Now I understand like being a limit, like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and you know damn well that you're not interested in that person over time. think it really goes to that issue of mental health. A lot of times women are more vocal about their issues. So they'll say, yeah, I'm crazy. If you cheat on me, I'm busting out your windows. Or I'm a real jealous person. Or going through the phone. They're more vocal. It's more evident what their issues are. If they have daddy issues or whatever the case may be. But guys usually will say they'll downplay their issues or they keep them inside of themselves. I've talked to a lot of guys that say why they do that, but they're not vocal. So then you don't know that this person is really crazy because they have become an expert at like keeping that down at least for a little while till they get triggered. And then when they get triggered, it's no coming back for that. They can't hide behind the triggers. If it's no triggers, they can go on for months and you not know that they have some type of issue, but make them mad, they can't hide it. They don't have the control to hide it like that a lot of times. So to me, that has to be a mental issue for you to think that you bought a piece of chicken or a couple wings and because of that, I owe you my body. Like what? I do believe that there is a limit though. I believe
There,
there's a
there,
limit.
there are women that will use a man, and we on date number 6, and they like, I just don't think this is gonna work, and that's how they end up in the back of a trunk.
Or
Or
in the
then
water
a
tank.
man is so far gone that it's fuck bitches. I'm not
Yeah.
taking none of y'all on no dates. You
Yeah.
can't get a quarter up out of me.
Yeah.
So I do understand that they get used, but mental health is real too, and especially in the Black community, I don't think that's something that Black people really take seriously. If you are suffering from mental health, I'm not gonna clown you. I think we all have our own mental issues. I think everybody needs to be doing some form of therapy, and nothing wrong with seeing a therapist. You cannot be your own therapist. Go get the help that you need. Once you get that help, it changes your outlook and how you act and respond to things in relationships or your everyday life. I think it's important. But at the same time, I don't think that men equating sex to dinner is just a mental thing. And I'm
Hmm.
not caping for them niggas because I don't cape for niggas. But I think that is just
Right.
embedded in some of their DNA that the pussy hunt is real. And
Hmm.
on this pussy hunt, they just feel that women should, sleep with them because that's what we're here for. And I see why you equate that to mental issues, but I think it's a little deeper than that. And
I mean, it
since
could
this has
be
been going
definitely
on for so
social.
long, yeah, and since it's been going on for so long and it's been working for so many of them, why would I need to change? Because you tell me, no, I can go get some pussy from somebody else for
But
two
to
chicken
me,
wings.
that's a better attitude than getting mad, threatening me, and all this stuff. If you can
Of
just
course,
move
but I
on,
want you because I haven't had you yet. Are you
yeah,
gonna fuck for these two wings or not?
right. No, I'm gonna throw 75 cents on the table. But yeah, no,
Oh
I,
yeah,
I
but
get that.
that is our dating segment for the day. We can move on because
Yes, yes, yes. Okay,
I
so
get tired of
today's
talking about
topic.
y'all. Wait, wait, wait. I got one more
Okay, go ahead, go
thing. One
ahead, go
more
ahead, go
thing.
ahead.
So, your girl was watching the news. Can you believe it? The news? Like, I don't like the news, but I was watching the news. That's how I know I'm getting older. And they were talking about something that really caught my eye or piqued my interest. And it was about drug havens. Now, what a
What
drug
is a
haven
drug
is,
haven?
I'm about to tell you, it's a safe space where drug addicts can go and do drugs.
So like
Have you heard of
Amsterdam.
anything like that? You said like what?
Yeah, like Amsterdam.
Yeah, but
So they have like the
I
red
didn't
light
know,
district.
sometimes I'm vanilla. I didn't know shit like that was like for real. Like it's
Yeah, they have
actual
stuff like that in
places
New York.
like that with real nurses and real doctors and people volunteering, watching you, making sure you don't overdose.
Okay,
So
I don't know
there
if
were
it's like that or not.
see,
Oh, as
see. So
far
let
as
me
what?
finish. Let
Okay,
me
let me be
finish.
quiet. Let you
So
go and
there's
tell
like
your story.
it's like a facility, yeah. Cause how you got story for days.
I
This my
do.
segment, not yours. No, for real. I'm just kidding. But yeah, they have like little cubicles where you can go in there and do your drugs. Somebody's watching you, making sure you don't OD. What was also crazy is that some of the volunteers that are watching are drug addicts themselves. And it got me thinking
Mm.
like, if I'm a drug addict, would I want a drug addict watching me? Because he might be like, take one more shot, take one more pill, take one more bump, and like so I thought about that. Like, should other drug addicts really be uh volunteers watching? And the reason why it was on the news is because they're talking about opening drug havens in Los Angeles. So
Mm.
I'm not sure how I feel about that because this is gonna sound fucked up, but I'm just gonna say it. I If you're gonna do drugs, I feel like you have two options. You could either try to get the help that you need, you recognize the addiction, and you know that this is something that you need to stop. So you try to get the help that you need, or you keep doing it in your own home. But we about to waste money and open up drug havens so people can go do drugs in a public setting and we watch them. This money can go towards other things. Now we're encouraging the drugs. It's kind of how I feel like when how parents are just like, I'm gonna give them the kids condoms because I know they're gonna be fucking anyway. So let me just give them condoms. Which I don't have any kids, so y'all do what y'all do. I was raised differently, so I grew up churchy, so my mama wasn't giving me condoms, even though she probably should, but she wasn't. So with this whole drug thing, like I just don't feel like we should be providing them an atmosphere to do drugs. So I really don't know how to feel about that. But the story was interesting. What are your thoughts?
Well, like I said, I haven't I've been to Europe, but I haven't been to these areas, but I know they have areas where, prostitution and drugs are legal in certain boundaries. They even pay taxes on various things. It's regulated. I don't know that there are like nurses or it's what you described sound more like a medical type of facility, but it probably would stop some ODs from happening because you would have those nurses readily available. But honestly, I don't think most drug addicts would go to those facilities unless that was the only place they felt like they could go to get the drugs. So
Oh,
I
that's
mhm,
what I forgot to mention. Sorry for
mhm,
cutting you off.
mhm.
Yes, they're providing the drugs there.
Yeah, so that's the only way that I could see them go, like wanting to go, because if you are trying to get high, you're trying to escape. So you don't want to be in a medical controlled environment unless addiction is so strong, that's the only place you can actually get something. So I mean, and as far as us as taxpayers paying for this stuff, we pay for it anyway because they are downtown or they become homeless or they steal or whatever to get the drugs. One way or another, society pays for them. I would just say more money should go into alternatives and like care for those people and helping make sure that they have access to the things that they need, like homes and housing and different things like that that they might need, or counseling. It's a lot of them have mental health problems again, mental health problems. So spend a lot of that money towards that, but at the same time, I don't feel that strongly about it. Like I don't think it's gonna make one difference or another in terms of cost is concerned, and I don't think it's gonna make people do drugs. I think it'll probably, if anything, stop some people from ODing. No,
I
but as
just
far
feel
as
like our
giving it to them, I don't know. I get
Our
what you're
tax
saying.
dollars could be spent better, like protecting these kids in school better, since y'all keep letting all these shootings happen year after year after year. Pour the money into that. Let's do that. These
Yeah,
are adults,
yeah.
and adults need to be held accountable. I have my own addictions. I get it. But I
Mhm.
can't, like, you know what I'm saying? It gets to a point where the woe is me card ain't gonna work, and you can't expect compassion for all the bullshit that you do as an adult. So that's why
But
I have
yeah,
a problem with it, as well as the one of the volunteers. He was like, "Yeah, I love coming here and taking my drugs here because, if I get it on the street, I don't know the dosage of it or
yeah,
anything. So here it's
yeah.
safer."
And the
Like,
synthetic drugs are on the street, and synthetic drugs is what kill people.
I just,
It's
it just,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the controlled environment is probably safer for the addict. I just think it needs to be followed up with some type of extra care to prevent it for them to get better. Whatever is
But do it,
missing,
do it get to the point like, okay, Charlie,
cut out.
you've been coming here for 5 years. You can't come here no more to do your drugs, or are they letting these people keep doing drugs at this place?
Right,
Or
right.
like,
Maybe
you know
it's a
what I mean?
phase out
Like,
plan. Maybe a
they didn't
phase out
say
plan.
anything that I could probably get with.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe a phase out plan after so many times you got to go through, you know, program. Even if you keep revolving door going back, like keep trying the program because sometimes it takes people a while to quit.
But then it's like too, if they all right, this your 10th drug. We can't supply you no more. Okay, you been my pusher man for all this time. Now you telling me I can't have no more drugs? All right, well, I'ma just go to the other one down the street.
They said this your 10-day Disney pass. Then when you after 10 days you gotta do a program.
Shit.
Wow, that's
All right.
good. That's deep though. That's good to know that that's happening though. Is I hadn't heard about that. That's interesting.
I keep my ear to the street. Brown sugar, bring us into
Yeah.
our topic.
All right. So our topic is about privilege. Okay. So I'm talking about pretty privilege. I'm talking about financial privilege. I'm talking about light skin privilege. So privilege is our topic, right? Um, I thought about this topic for a couple of reasons. One reason I thought about this topic is because I have a guy friend. This kind of connects to something we were talking about earlier today. I have a guy friend, and this guy friend, he is like stable. He mentally is in a good space. He's a kind person. He's hardworking, community oriented, all these great, great things, right? But he had a crazy girlfriend, and
Oh
she
shit.
was doing all kind of stuff. I mean, crazy, all types of stuff. She's done so many things I can't even name, like criminal stuff. If you see her, she looks like a typical like video vixen. She got the right color, the right hair, the right shape, all that stuff. And because she looks like that, she gets away with like murder. And it's not even just him, other guys will just like overextend themselves to her. It's not like she's a nice person either. Like she's not a nice person. I've been told him if it wasn't for you, I'd have been told her off. If it wasn't for my homeboy, I would have been told the girl off. But I was just thinking about that. Even in the workplace, you have people who promote and things like that based off of looks and all that kind of stuff. And so I have like another guy friend of mine, similar story. He's paying, this connects also to what we were talking about earlier. He's paying for this woman to go on a trip. They hadn't done anything, but long story short, he jumping through all these hoops. He bought her patio furniture and he did all these things for this woman. And eventually it got to a place. This is the other extreme of what we were talking about earlier. It got to the place where he had spent thousands and thousands of dollars on this woman. And then finally, he like, what's up? I need to at least know what direction we going in. It wasn't even on no, you gotta give me some now. It was, what direction are we going in? And he kind of pressed her about it like, this, it's been months. You need to let me know what's going on. But she wanted the gifts and all that kind of stuff. And so she ended up getting mad, and she just told him like, I never be with you because of whatever reason she had. She didn't want to be with him, but she was allowing him to spend his money and selling him a dream as if it was gonna happen. So I was trying to figure out what is this girl got on you? Because you didn't sleep with her, and I just didn't understand. So I saw a picture of her, and she was very, very fair skinned to the point she looked damn near white. I said, "You mean to tell me you doing all this stuff because she light skinned?" And he just started laughing. He just started laughing, and I was just like, "Wow!" And let me say this: I ain't hating on nobody with pretty privilege, because even if I don't really consider myself like a classic beauty, I know what I'm saying, I clean up real well and don't have no problem getting no man or nothing like that. And I have used my body and my looks to get things, meaning I done been moved to the front of the line because my shape is a certain way. I've gotten backstage because, you know, things, as far as looks is concerned. I've I've benefited from that as a woman. So I ain't hating on nobody who use whatever it is that they have towards that. But it's like definitely something to, pay attention to and like recognize. Then I got one story, then I want to hear your take on this. So I go to this party. We're backstage. It's VIP. It's a celebrity that performed on stage. After the celebrity performed on stage, he comes back to where we are in the VIP. So my daughter has a friend. The friend is a model. The mom is just as beautiful as the model friend. Whole family just dropped dead gorgeous. Okay, so the mama is gorgeous, right? I mean, she's one of those women when you see her, you're just like, that don't make no sense for somebody to be that pretty type of woman. That's how pretty she was. So this lady, I see her at the door trying to get into VIP, but she don't have the bracelet to get into VIP. She's with her sister. Okay, again, they both had a classic video vixen look, but the friend of my daughter's, the mom of my daughter's friend,
Mhm.
she's like, again, like magazine pretty, right? So they're trying to
Mhm.
get in. So while they're trying to get in, the security guard was like, y'all ain't got no wristband. And
What
so
happened?
he was like, y'all can't get in without a wristband. So then they lied and said they were with the celebrity dude. So they asked the celebrity dude, hey, are these women with y'all? And he was like, no. So they kicked the women out. And so on their way out, they was like, we two pretty bitches and y'all kicking out light skinned pretty bitches. This is what the sister is saying to them. And so they get escorted out. But I was thinking about it, and I was just like, they do this all the time and they always get away with it. And this is the first time. They're older now. So they've been probably doing this since they were in their teens. And now they're, at that time, probably late 30s, knocking on 40. And this is probably the first time they've been rejected. Their looks didn't get them through to whatever it is that they wanted. And so I was just thinking, like, that has to be tough for a person to accept that now I need to lean on my skills, my humor, my personality, um, my substance, whatever else I know or can do in order to be able to maneuver like in this situation. Yeah, I mean, I think that even if you are a person that's just naturally beautiful or fit the stereotype of what more men or more women are attracted to, that you still need to take the time to develop yourself as a person in your character as well, because beauty fade, you get older, you might get bigger, you might have health problems or whatever the case may be. And so you're going to need to lean on those other things in order to like be successful in life. So
Mhm.
that's my take on the privilege thing. What's your view?
I feel like everyone has been in a situation where favor has worked uh in their favor.
Right,
Favor
right.
has worked in their favor. Does that make sense? Yeah, favor has
Yeah, like
worked
your booty.
in their
Go ahead.
favor. Really?
Your
Because you
booty can
almost
get
asking
you
on
in and
me.
out of some places.
You almost asking on me. Let's not do that. Our booty is huge. Since she wants to put
L-
mine on there. Our
Her
booty is
booty is
huge.
huger.
Okay, this podcast is not about my ass. So back to what I was
I don't
saying.
know. Okay, go ahead.
Favor favor has gotten people favor. Um, I know for a fact that I don't have too many dark skinned women that are my friends. So when I do meet a dark skinned woman and we mesh and it's cool, I definitely want to keep her around. Nothing against my light skinned sisters. I love y'all to death. I just always would wonder why I don't have too many dark skinned friends. Like all my friends are usually light skinned. So I will be with my light skinned friends and I could be dressed to the T. I could be dressed better and they could be dressed down. I have seen dudes just not even look my direction just because I'm dark skinned
Hmm.
and would have gotten at one of my homegirls that may have not been put together that day, could have had stuff in her teeth, all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm over exaggerating, but the point I'm
Hmm.
making is that whole light skin, dark skin thing, that privilege is real. The shit she said about my ass, that's real too. It's gotten me free groceries from the cashier at the grocery store. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
It's gotten me into places like she said, it's gotten bills paid and all types of stuff. But I got a brain too, so I don't need to use my
Yeah.
booty. But if you want to be dumb enough to just focus on that asset, okay, let's focus on that because
Hmm.
that's what you own. So let's focus on that since that's
Yeah.
where your attention is at. And you don't see me for nothing else. You already done talked your way out of some pussy because I see where your focus is at.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna move accordingly, and that's just what it is. That's how I feel
Yeah,
about it.
definitely. Definitely. I mean, I think you're right. I think we all have things that are can benefit us, but it's important that you're aware of it. You know what I mean? It's important that you're aware of it, or if a person is dealing with you just based on that. And then just to be fair, because I got friends, like you said, of all shades. I was having a conversation with a girlfriend of mine who she's one of those people who look racially ambiguous. I always tell her, you look like you could be from anywhere in the world, right? But she identifies as black, but you can't tell where, exactly where she's from. She said she was from Spain, I would believe her. She said she was Italian, I would believe her. She's one of those. And she was telling me that her problem was the opposite of probably, with the skin tone thing, because she was saying she had a hard time making friends with black women because they felt some kind of way about that. She did get a lot of attention from men. A lot of men would approach her for, being racially ambiguous or mixed or whatever the case may be, but she said she had a harder time building like meaningful relationships with women because of that reason. So she was saying she got teased a lot for it. So to be fair, we all have our thing that we have issues about or got teased about or even bullied for some people. But it's important to like be aware of your privilege and how that impacts things moving through the world. You know what I mean? It's not
Hmm.
that you throw it away and say, well, shoot, I got backstage just because I'm light skinned. Shit, well, use what you got because she going to use her booty. I'm going to use everything I got too to get back there. I'm going to use
Y'all
my
hear that?
connections. So I ain't hate. I'm not hating on it, but it's something. It's something to be aware. But a lot of times people aren't aware of it until it starts to hit home. So another girlfriend
Mhm.
of mine, as far as with the colorism thing, another girlfriend of mine, her, pretty much the whole family is light, right? But she likes chocolate, chocolate, chocolate brothers. Like the darker the better. And so she was saying she was laughing and kind of making jokes about it. And she was like, "Yeah, he said he would never talk to a dark skinned woman. And he, in part he picked me because I was so light." And then I asked her, I said, "So what happens when your daughter come out looking like her daddy?"
What she say?
She said, "Well, that's impossible because of how light I am. It's no
No, it's
way
not
that she could."
impossible because black
And
babies come out all shades.
I know that. We all know them genetics ain't no joke. But I brought, but she had never thought about that. I said, what if she medium brown? Is he gonna treat her differently? Even in one of the groups that the two of us are in together, it was a girl that was bragging that her dad only deals with her because of skin tone. He only deals with her and basically abandoned the rest of his kids. And I said that's not something I
That's
would even go
disgusting.
around repeating. That's not a
That's
compliment,
disgusting.
huh?
I said it's disgusting.
Yeah, it is. It is. She said she was the only one that he, deals with or whatever. And then of course, you have privilege of, money. Money can definitely can buy you out of that offsets whatever wrong with you. If you ugly, you got some money, all of a sudden you look way better.
You
You
treated
can look past
differently.
all that, you
You are
know.
treated much differently when you are in a different financial circle or a different tax bracket. But to the money be making people look different, like it does though. Not only because they have the money, but they can get all the extra facials and all this extra shit too. Cause
That's
some of them
true. That's
celebrities, when they
true.
first came out, they was ugly as hell. Now
Honey,
I'm
they
like,
be
okay,
looking like a
Puff
different
Daddy, you
person.
kind of, yeah, like okay, I see you. You know
Sure,
what I
girl,
mean?
girl.
Okay, Jay
Because
Z.
I didn't know, what I didn't know is we all have seen people who cross-eyed. I don't know what the PC term is, but
Here we
with the
go.
wandering eye and stuff like that.
Where you going with
So
this?
no, but what this friend that I have, but she got cheddar, she got hers fixed. Because before
Oh
that, honey,
shit.
she used to be looking at all of us, and not. That's not PC. I'm sorry,
Do your
but
friend
yeah,
is
but
she
now,
listening to this?
no, I didn't send it to her. Now I can't. I just will be like episode number 7. But yeah, I mean, but she got it fixed, so it don't wonder anymore. So she just looked like for years, I had got used to it somewhat, talking to her and everything. I had to just
Mhm.
find one space to focus on, and then I could do it. But then,
Shit.
like now, it's like cool. Oh yeah, I
That's
mean, and that's because of money. She had money, so she was able to do that. She was
yeah,
able to
money
do
changes
that.
things. Money,
Even
money, and
mhm,
how certain women look and men's opinion of women have a lot of these women running out and getting these BBLs. Plastic surgery
yeah,
community or BBL community, please do not come for me. I'm not talking bad about y'all.
right,
I support anybody doing whatever they want to do to enhance their body, but do that because you want to do that, not because you
yeah,
think it's gonna make men attracted to you or because a nigga told you to do it. You make that change for you.
right. I agree. I certainly agree, and I would just say, just in general, if you're dating, that there becomes a point in your dating, and that's even for women, where you really have to look deeper. You know what I mean? Of course, you want somebody you're attracted to. I'm not gonna be walking around with a mud duck that I gotta, prep myself to go out in public with or something. But at the
Hmm.
same time, you have to look at a bigger picture of like what type of character you're dealing with, and if you and the men dealing with women, that woman gonna be raising your kids. You better look deeper than just skin deep. See what kind of person that you have. You can pick
Yeah.
someone beautiful and that has some character too.
You know what get
So
me?
yeah,
They, they stay talking about somehow women don't cook, women don't know how to cook this, that, and the third. First of all, you purposely picking women that can't even cook. Let's talk
that's the
about
whole
that.
point. That's
And
it
then
right
getting
there.
mad because they can't cook.
Right.
That's who you
Right.
picked.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's a big part of it. Some of these guys that are on like social media saying all this stuff about women because they've been rejected by the ones they're going after. They trying to get the Instagram models. They're trying to get women. They all chasing the same three women. They say that about us, but they all chasing the same three women. You got a woman that was you can find a woman with those qualities just from a standpoint of probability. It's more women. So you can find a woman with those qualities that you need that will help to for you to be your best you and compliment who you are as a person and all that stuff. But you are just focusing on that one thing, not looking at how's that going to affect your pockets? How's that going to affect your
Hmm.
child rearing and all that kind of stuff? You got to look a little deeper once you get to a certain age. You 20,
Y'all ain't
21,
compatible.
22, it's whatever.
Y'all ain't compatible. You believe in
Right.
whoopings, he don't. That's not gonna
Mhm.
work
Right.
off top.
Yeah. Right.
So
Have a
yeah.
conversation.
But that
When you
sound
get to
like a
that point.
whole that sound like a whole nother topic. So we're gonna have to revisit that one on another day.
Absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
right,
This was a
y'all.
good talk.
It's been fun. You have any final thoughts? Any last words? Anything you
No.
want to say to Water Tank?
Water tank. Thank you for the fajitas. Don't put me in the water tank if you do find this on YouTube. And thanks for the rose. And I appreciate you.
And do I
And
have any
thanks for getting that
closing
haircut.
thoughts? Ooh, any closing thoughts? Nah, y'all ain't getting shit from me today. As always, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, hanging out with us. I'm your girl Shay Butter.
I'm Brown Sugar. See you next
All right,
week.
peace. Shit, I'm
I
tired of buying
know.
shit.
Right. We need to still.
Bust out some windows.
Right.
He was talking about mental
Okay.
health. So do that
Uh,
whole spiel about but women we're pretty vocal with our issues because
Okay.
we are.
Okay. Right. Right. Okay. So,
La 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 big black dick. Can you hear
can you?
me? All right.
Did you say big black? Can you hear me?
Man, don't
You can hear
be.
me okay though, right? He's so damn crazy.
BB, tell him to come back.
Okay.